I want to pull up this story from the Post Millennial. 60% of abortion clinics shut down in red states with pro-life laws after Roe was overturned. So for those that are just tuning in, we've been talking a bit about the Convention of States. A couple things that I think are interesting here is, for one, I definitely want to get into your guys' thoughts on abortion. But I was thinking about this. For one, this story actually was a meme. It was a meme because people were saying, if Planned Parenthood claims that most of the services they provide are unrelated to abortion, why would they shut down when Roe v. Wade was overturned? And maybe there's some like political point they make. But the mainstream press came out and said, the corporate press, I shouldn't call it mainstream, said that it's actually not true. They're not shutting down. It was just Planned Parenthood was like moving funds around. Well, now we see that a large portion actually did shut down when abortions became illegal. So I'm curious in this regard. One, obviously, we'll have I want to discuss your thoughts on this stuff. But I was also thinking in terms of Convention of States, is it considered limiting of the federal government to codify a restriction on abortion, or the inverse? Codify the restriction on banning abortions, right? Because that's what the left has been arguing for. I suppose the argument from the left is the government was restricting its ability to ban this. The argument from the right is the government was giving itself the authority over it. You see how there's kind of like both sides are arguing it's an overreach. Both sides would be arguing that their move is a limitation. I'm curious of your thoughts on that, or let's just say it's a hard segue into the abortion topic, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, I would say generally speaking, if you were to give the federal government the power to regulate or allow abortion, I mean, that's essentially what Dobbs said. It's like, this is not the federal government's business. This is a true federalist decision. It said the Constitution doesn't say anything about this. It belongs to the states. So I think that is the correct constitutional position. And I think anytime, if under our convention you said we're going to give the federal government more power to ban abortions, I think you're now expanding federal power.
Yeah, I think either way
right.
It goes, whether it's pro-life or pro-choice, it would not be eligible under our rubric.
And to be clear, like I want to give my personal bias. I'm completely anti-abortion.
Me too.
So here I am, a guy from the right, anti-abortion, and I just don't think that that's in the Constitution for the federal government to deal with.
And you know what? I agree. You know, I like the idea. The problem is, I should say the challenge is that you've got a side that's willing to have the Constitution be amended to enforce their ideology.
Absolutely.
Whereas you are willing to compromise and say, we don't like abortion, but let the states decide. I've mentioned this quite a bit. This is conservatives compromising on the issue of pro-life versus pro-choice, whereas the left is arguing every state should have to allow it. The right saying let some decide. Let's say decide for themselves. So it's split.
This is a real example of why a convention of the states, having the discussion of convention of the states is important to America, because I think as what I'm seeing polls go on and people realize that the Supreme Court decision in Dobbs didn't ban abortion as the left said it did, and that this is a decision that the people at the local level and state level can make. More and more people, even folks who are for abortion being legal, are saying, well, okay, I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with me having a say in what these decisions are. And that's really the argument we're making with Convention of the States is, look, let's not just abortion, but a whole host of other issues that are really local issues. Education is a good example. Really, do we need the federal government telling us how parents should educate and local schools should? No, let the community be able to make these decisions themselves.
So we can get an amendment that says no more Department of Education.
Yeah, we could.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's at the very top of my list. And
mine too.
The majority of the American public agrees with that. Not just on the right. There's plenty of people on the left that are like, hey, we want to educate our own kids our own way. If you live in Texas, which is where I'm from, right, and people think of it as a red state, well, I live just outside of Austin. That's about as blue as it gets. People in Austin want to decide how to educate their own kids. They don't want the federal government telling them how to do that.